And then it stops. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a nice little break there. And hope you had some time to do some work on your slides as well. So you're just capturing thoughts, capturing ideas as you're going along and putting in some notes. One of the things I just wanted to remind everybody about before we move on to this next section is the importance of going and having a conversation with at least 10 of your prospects. It's part of your homework. It's not compulsory, but I highly recommend it. Anytime that I'm launching a new promotion or my team are launching a new promotion, we'll always go out and speak to either 10 clients that have done something similar or have asked us for something similar, or we know have got like a particular challenge in a particular area, and we'll go and interview them, and we'll find out exactly what is going on. So find like a group of 10, they could be prospects, people that you want to do business with. They could be customers you've already done business with in the past. But go and find some people and have some conversations with them, and don't try and sell them anything. It's not a call where you're trying to sell them anything at all. Go to them and say, hey, listen, Lisa, I'd love a call with you because I'm just doing some research. We've got this new program that we're thinking about launching the next 12 months. And, I want to know, like, is it even something that's going to be of value to people? I know you've got a really successful coaching business in Atlanta. I know you're building a big community. Can we have a conversation about some of the challenges that you're being faced with right now as an entrepreneur in Atlanta? And she's going to say, yes, of course we can. And then I can get stuck into those questions. So I'm always going to ask somebody like, what's the biggest challenge that you're being faced with right now? What's your big goal or opportunity that you want to see in the next 12 months? What's stopping you from achieving that? How important is this that you solve this problem? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you solve it? Because actually we can speak to people who've got a problem or several problems, but then when we ask them how important it is to solve, they say, actually, that's not my biggest problem. It is a problem, but it's not my biggest problem. My biggest problem is this. So, that's something completely different. Well, let's talk about that problem. What would it be worth to you if you solved that problem? Oh, you would save my life. Like, honestly, I could make an extra $20,000 if you solve that problem for me. Or, I could like have like, the house of my dreams, or, I could live my perfect life. Like, I'd be able to deal with all my issues. Really? Okay. Well, if that's going to help you do that, and it's one of your top priorities to fix right now, have you found any solutions? No, not at the moment. I haven't. Okay. Well, look, if I was able to come up with a solution, would you be interested in talking to me? Hell yeah. Okay. Well, give me an idea. Like, what are you looking to invest in the next 3 to 6 months in solving that problem? Like, have you got a budget in mind? That I haven't really thought about it, but okay, well, if it was going to give you an extra $20,000, what would it be worth to you? Well, I'd be willing to pay $2,000 to get 20,000. All right, that's great. Thanks for letting me know. People will tell you this information because they already want to get their problem solved. They're already trying to find solutions to their problems. They're out there searching. I can tell you, I'm out there every day searching for ways to solve the problems in my business. And I'm just trying to find the right solutions, but they don't always show themselves up because some of you are really bad at letting people find you. So this is going to be, this next video is about how do you actually create a value cycle where you can have this continuous flow of new prospects coming your way, being able to find you because you are clearly articulating the way that you're actually solving a problem for those people. So don't forget, go and spend some time with your prospects, get those questions asked. Don't skimp on it. Don't drop them a WhatsApp. Don't drop them a little text or a Facebook message. Get on the phone, like as Peter said, use the old-fashioned phone and actually have a conversation with them. You'll be amazed at how much you can uncover by actually asking some people this question. But this next video now, we're going to talk about the value cycle, which is one of the slides in your promotion plan, which is how do you make sure you have this continuous flow of new prospects coming through? How do you make sure that your business is 100% digital, even though you might not have a digital product? Tesla sells cars. It's not a digital product that they sell. They sell a physical car that actually arrives at your home that you can drive off. But they have a fully digitized business. This is what it is to have a 5.0 business. This is the 5.0 layer across everything that we're doing within the Entrepreneur Spectrum Microschool. So Ethan, on that, let us run VT, and then we will open it up to questions and comments when we come back. Hi everyone, it's Michelle again as we are continuing our way through Monetize Your Moment. I hope you have started to put together your promotion plan and starting to think through what is the biggest problem that you are solving and actually having conversations with customers as well. So let's move on to this next section now, which I did allude to on the first video, which is about the value cycle. So let's have a look in a bit more detail about the value cycle. So what are we going to cover in this session? What is the value cycle, first of all, and why you need one for each promotion, and how to create your own value cycle. So what is a value cycle? Well, A value cycle is basically a way that you are building trust. Trust is a measurement of value. So the more value that you deliver, the more people will trust you. If you stop delivering value, people will generally lose their trust in you. You can measure the level of value you're delivering by the level of revenue that you're generating. The more value you deliver, the more revenue you generate. So where people trust you, they'll buy from you, right? It's a pretty simple equation, but most of us go out thinking, how can I generate more revenue? How do I be better at selling? How do I be better at marketing? How do I be better at like making my messaging clearer? Well, I'm not saying those things don't help, because they probably do. But actually, if you're trying to think of how you can sell, you're already coming at it from a 4.0 instead of a 5.0. Getting customers to buy from you instead of you having to sell to them is a much more 5.0 method. And this requires you building a lot of trust with them and creating a value cycle. Now, why do you need a value cycle for every promotion? Well, remember in video 1, I talked about the importance of having a single customer avatar. And I said, wherever you have multiple customer avatars, you're going to have to create multiple marketing, multiple programs, multiple everything. The value cycle is specifically aimed at an avatar, and it's specifically focusing on that problem that you're trying to solve for them. So you need a value cycle for every promotion. So you don't create a value cycle for your company, you create it for each promotion. And if you've got multiple avatars and you've got multiple problems that you're trying to solve, that's a lot of value cycles you're going to be running at one time. Believe you me, you'll be burnt out, and it'll be very difficult to get your customers through the door. So one promotion per person per quarter. If you're lucky enough to be a green level or kind of level 4 or 5 on the impact meter, then you will have multiple team members who can run promotions. But if you're level 1, 2, 3, then this is going to be you running your own promotion. So one promotion per person per quarter, one value cycle attached to one promotion. All right, so let's go have a look at this so that you can see how do you create your own value cycle. So as I said, trust is a measurement of value. So we can call it the value cycle. I like to call it the trust cycle. Because if you're thinking of it in that way, you're thinking, how do I go out there and build more trust with my prospects? How do I build more trust with people who are looking to solve a particular problem? And from the last video, we really got focused on that problem. So now we have a lot more clarity of the problem that we're looking to solve. And if you haven't had time yet to do that exercise, do take some time out at the end of today to do that exercise, because it's going to make this exercise so much simpler. There's 5 steps on the value cycle. Now, a 4.0 model is really looking at ways that you can build like lead magnets and funnels. But a funnel, of course, goes like this, and it ends up with just 1 or 2 people at the bottom. Whereas a value cycle is a continuous virtual cycle where people keep coming through and staying in your community and being part of a conversation. So if you're still focusing at lead magnets and funnels, you're probably finding that those are becoming more and more challenging. That's not to say that they're not useful as part of the value cycle, but understanding it's a cycle that goes around rather than an end process where they plop through the bottom or just stay at the top, I don't know, floating around in the weird space of the funnel. So 5.0, it combines much more around high touch, high tech, and it allows you to create predictable revenues. Remember, we talked about that with the promotion. So it's really allowing you to make this much more predictable. So there's 5 steps within the value cycle. I'm going to go through the 5 of them, and I'm going to give you some examples of what you can do within your value cycle. Do know that you want to be spending 20% of your time on each of these 5. Most of us don't do that. Most of us miss step 1 and step 2 because we're so focused at step 3 or step 4, looking after the customer. And we don't even look at step 1 and 2, and sometimes we don't even look at step 5 either. So know that you want to attribute 20% of your time to each of these. So really think through as you're putting your time aside for your promotion plan, knowing that it's your #1 priority. First things first, wake up in the morning, get into the office, focus at your promotion plan, spend the bulk of your day, bulk of your time on this. This is what's going to generate your revenues. But decide how you're going to allocate your time out based on these 5 areas, because not all of them feel like they're instantly making revenue. But if you do these really well, they will make revenue. Step #1 is build your followers. So your followers are people who are kind of on the outside following you. So these are people who might be following you on Twitter, following you on Instagram. Maybe they're following you on TikTok or Clubhouse. Maybe they've clicked on an ad, have kind of gone to a landing page but not really done very much. Maybe they're following you on Facebook, on your Facebook page. Maybe they're following you on LinkedIn. Maybe they're kind of just like watching out for what you do, but they're not really giving anything more than that. So at this point, they're giving their attention, but that's kind of it. They're on the periphery. Now, what we want to do is we want to bring more of those, or maybe they're listening to your podcast or your YouTube videos. We want to bring those people from the followers and get them into the community. The community are people who've now said, I'm going to give you my attention as well as my time. So now they're actually going to do something. And this is where they're going to have the opportunity to have a high touch, high tech time with you, where they can invest their time in, maybe they're doing an assessment test with you. Maybe they've joined your Facebook group, which is different to your page. Maybe they've joined a Genius U circle. Maybe they've joined your LinkedIn group. So now they're actually joining your community. Maybe they've registered for a free event that you're going to be running. Maybe it's a masterclass, but they're now giving you their details and they're saying, actually, I have been following you. I can see that there's something you're going to do which could potentially solve my problem, and I'm willing to give you my time. This is free, completely free of charge at this point. So if they're in your community, it's very possible now that you're capturing their data because they're registering. So maybe you're getting their email address, their telephone number, something like that, but they're still not ready to make a purchase at this point. They're just seeing, well, can you actually solve my problem? So let's say they've registered for your free masterclass because they want to see if they come along for an hour, is it going to be worth their time, that they're going to get enough value that they can build trust in you. So remember, everything you're doing is about building trust. Everything is about building trust, creating that experience, delivering value to people. But once you're in your community, now you can start having conversations with them. So now you can start to engage with them. Now you can sort of invite them to take the next step as well. And the next step from community is to become a prospect. So if they've had a good experience with you and you invite them to be a prospect, so let's say you do your masterclass, and at the end of the masterclass, you say to the 100 people on your masterclass, hey, you know, I hope this has been of real value and you've enjoyed this experience. I've got an opportunity for 5 of you to come and have a free call with me, where if this has been of real value and you want to solve this problem in your business right now, I have a super special opportunity for just 5 people to work with me in the next quarter. You know, unfortunately, I can't help all 100, but I can help 5 of you. We can have a free call where I'll walk you through this experience. We'll find out if this solution is going to solve your problem. And if it does, you can join me on the program. Here's a bit of information about the program. And then you actually are creating an invitation for people to become a prospect. So in the olden days, when we would go to networking, people would say a prospect is someone that came within, I think, 3 feet of you. Absolutely not. That's not a prospect. Prospect is someone who puts up their hand and says, I want to book a call, or I want to have a meeting, or I need to know more information about this program. I want to know, how do I get booked on it? I want to know, is it going to solve my problem? That's when they become a prospect, and you want to create a high touch, high tech experience, whether that's a call, whether that's a meeting, whether it's a mentoring session, whether it's a free kind of taster session where they get to have an experience of what you do and see if you can solve their problem. Step 4 then is, of course, this is a straightforward bit. This is when they become a customer and we give them a transformation. So this is when they have an experience and they say, yes, you did deliver everything you said you were going to deliver. In fact, you delivered more. This is so good. I can't believe it only cost me $3,000 because this is so cool and so revolutionary. And how do I do more with you? Then step 5 is when they become a raving fan. So this is when they come back, they want to do more with you. They've had such a great experience, they've got such a great result, such a great transformation that they now want to become a raving fan. And they repeat business. Of course, it's much easier to get someone to do repeat business than it is to go find a new customer. We just want to be doing both at the same time. So they become a raving fan. And by the way, pretty much before pre-IPO, pretty much all of our investors came from the value cycle community. So all of our investors came from within our customer and partner group. We didn't even need to go outside at that point because we had such high trust and such raving fans who'd been with us for so many years. So knowing that each of these 5 steps are super important, knowing you need to spend 20% on each of these is really important as well. Knowing that they don't all instantly generate revenue straight away. So you're going to get a chance to create your own value cycle. You've got a slide to do that. Here's Bear's example of what she pulled together for her value cycle. So inspiring stories of women on her Facebook fan page. Facebook Lives on her fan page. She did quite a lot of Facebook Lives where there was a lot of people interacting. She had a free scorecard, which was an assessment test. Assessment tests are a great way of getting people to join your community. People love doing tests. They love doing profile tests. Given that you guys are already mentors on Genius U, I highly recommend that you put something on Genius U and create some kind of assessment test on there. If I show you on Genius U right now, let's have a look. Where's my this link here? We've got lots of assessments on Genius U. In fact, there's 1,000 people a day taking assessment tests on Genius U, and these are all free. This is the Genius test, like super straightforward, super easy. It takes like 5 minutes to actually take the test. It's had over 1 million students enrolled. It's got 1,000 5-star reviews, and it's free. And when people do this, this gets them into your value cycle. It's super, super powerful. So do go onto Genius U and build in assessment within your value cycle. Then you can see within Prospect, she's got her masterclass, which is free. She's got her Evolutionary Woman program. She also does roundtable sessions. And then she's got her actual program, which is the circle. And then people come back and do Reclaim Your Best Life and the Evolutionary Women's Circle. So I want to share a few examples here of these different steps. So for those of you who are looking to build your followers, like here's Roger's YouTube channel, right? He's now got 177,000 subscribers and all these different videos. And what Roger does is he goes in and creates content based on what people are searching for. And then he puts the titles, he puts the details in the title, which gets more and more people clicking on it. So you can see like Elon Musk predicts when superhuman AI and killer, it's had 377,000 views. The metaverse, how it will end the internet, it's had 951,000 views. So Roger's picking content that he knows people are really interested in wanting to watch. The Fourth Turning, 1.4 million views. Elon Musk shocking 2021 predictions, 3.2 million views. So you can see what's the content that people are really interested in, what are they most wanting to watch. And of course, as a result of actually clicking on his YouTube channel, they're finding out about Roger, and then they have an opportunity if they want to click on his website and come through and have a look. But this is, and come and join the community and come and join our group. But this is moving people from this step here, followers. So remember things like YouTube, podcasts, anything that puts them on the outside, but gives them that value and gets them the chance to join on the inside then. So like I said, assessment's a brilliant way of building community. Events, also another great way of building community. We often do things like 5-day challenges and masterclasses. Every time we do a 5-day challenge, we'll aim to have about 10,000 people register. And then they don't all show up, of course, but if you get 10,000 people registering and joining your community and half of them come along, or even if a quarter of them come along, that's a good number of people coming along to an experience where you're getting to deliver something for free. So we'll do a 5-day challenge. All of it's free of charge. Like this is a really high value, high content, a lot of time that we'll invest on a 5-day challenge. Now, don't do a 5-day challenge if you're a level 1, level 2 business. You're not going to have a big enough community or followers to be able to do something like that. We can do that because we have got a large number, but something like other things you can be doing as well. Here's a big list, by the way, I put on this slide of all the things you can be doing under the followers in the community. So, other things, you've got the 3-day challenge, you can run awards. I love awards. They always create lots of community buzz. You can have a checklist that people can download. You can have a competition where somebody's going to win a free spot on your program. You can do educational videos, masterclasses, events. You can create a Facebook group or a Genius U circle or a LinkedIn group. So anything where somebody elects to come join a group. So here's another example. So this is a Genius 5.0 startup entrepreneurs. If you're not in here yet, come and join. We've got nearly 30,000 members in here. And this is all entrepreneurs in here who are having conversations, getting engaged and talking about being entrepreneurs and sharing entrepreneurial opportunities in there as well. Here's another example. This is one that Joe Formosa has done. I love this one. Joe's got 3,500 members in here. She runs her Facebook Lives in here. She has a lot of conversation with her group in here. And when they join, they actually get invited to take a free test. So she gets them into the Facebook group and then says, take my free health spectrum test. So when you go to the health spectrum test, you get to find out which level you are on the health spectrum for free. So people join the group, they take the health spectrum test. Now, not only have they joined the group and in a conversation with her, now she knows what their level of health is, and now she can personalize the journey that she wants to send them on based on knowing this. So like I said, assessment's pretty awesome. Always really, really cool to find out more about people. Events are a great way, masterclasses, events. We do about 2 or 3 events every single month, live virtual workshops. So by the way, all of you guys get free tickets to all of our events because you're our VIP community. So 30th of August, we've got this one here. This will be a great event. This is going into the value cycle in a lot of detail, by the way. Entrepreneur 5.0. And there's oh look, there's one that's a special offer for $1 right now. I mean, that's super low price. So you're not even expecting people to be a customer at this point of view. You're still expecting them to really be either community or prospect where they're having that experience. Now for prospects, We have Genius Igniter calls, which is the team actually going through what the best program is. We also run this program here called Founders Roundtable. So this is for anyone who's already doing at least 150K of revenue and they're looking to double or 10X in the next 12 months. We'll do a Founders Roundtable session. So myself and Donna run these. They're 90 minutes with 4 entrepreneurs together. It's very, very powerful. And we don't charge for these sessions, but we also don't make them available to everyone because we don't have a lot of time. So we do sort of 2 of these each a week. So it's not a lot that we get to go through, but some of you may even get invited to come through one of these at the end of this micro school as really high value. So we'll give you actual mentoring in a small group on how you can be doubling the revenue in your company, how you can be growing from yellow to green level. It's not for everyone, like I said. This is for the companies that are at least kind of 150K looking to grow. But this is a great experience that people can have at prospect level, which encourages them to come and be a customer. And of course, you all know what to do once you've got a customer, and then you can invite them back to be your raving fan as well. So lots of examples here within the value cycle that you can take. I would love you to complete your value cycle slide within the promotion plan. My biggest tip is do not do all of these things. Do not fill your value cycle full of a trillion things that you want to do. Pick from here, like what's the one thing that you really want to do well? If you've got 4 or 5 things in each column, it's too many for your promotion plan. You'll spend all your time creating content and you'll be sending people to too many different things. So pick one thing, do it really, really well, and get people into it, and know that that's already going for your next promotion plan. And in your next promotion plan with your next value cycle, pick something else. So please do not be tempted to take everything and do it. This is actually less is more. So looking forward to reviewing where you've got to on your value cycle and what you think are the key elements that you want to put in there for your promotion plan. And I will see you on our next video. Thanks, Michelle. Okay. Drop into the chat for me. What is the amount of time you should spend on each of the 5 steps? How much time should you spend on each of those 5 steps? Drop it into the chat, what you picked up. Everybody should be dropping me something in there. Thank you, Julie. Go ahead, drop in. Yes, 20% of your time on each of the 5 steps, or as Jim says, equal amounts in each lane. So there's 5 steps in the value cycle. When you're looking at your promotion plan, when you're delivering on your promotion plan, you want to spend at least 20% on each of those steps. Most of us are so busy. Let me just open this up. Most of us are so busy trying to just figure out how to get more prospects to become customers. And we're like, if I just had more people in front of me, I know I'd sell them because I've got this great program and I've got this great product. And if there's just more people showing up, life would be so much easier. Well, they don't grow on trees, unfortunately. They don't fall through sales funnels or any of those things. You do need to put them into a value cycle. So most of us are not spending enough time on these first 2. And most of us don't even know that we should be doing those first 2 in the first place, because they don't generate any revenue. Yeah, just getting people to be your follower where they're giving you their attention, but not yet their time, doesn't give you any revenue. Getting people into your community where you're giving them a high touch, high tech experience for free, now they're in your community, doesn't give you any revenue. It's only by the time they become a prospect that you've got the potential of making revenue. So most of us are not even spending time over here, but then wondering why we don't get more prospects showing up on a daily basis and wondering where they are. So this is really important. You spend 20% of your time on this. Get like Lynn is and fall in love with your value cycle. What we're going to do now is we're going to put you into some breakout groups. We're just going to give you 6 minutes. You've got 2 minutes each, 2 minutes each, right? I want you to share in your breakout group what's one thing that you're going to pick off that list that you're going to do for each of these 5 steps. So what's the one thing that you're going to do to get followers? What's the one thing you're going to do to build community? What's the one thing you're going to do that's going to be a great experience for a prospect? What's perhaps the one program you're going to be doing? And what's the one thing you're going to be doing to really building your raving fans? So you can, if you've already filled it in on your slides, even better. If not, you can just walk it through. But we're going to give you 6 minutes. So 2 minutes each. So have a timekeeper as well. And we'll come back and get some sharing and some questions on the back of that. Awesome. All right, let's move into some breakout groups, please. Tao. Time's up.
Flying back. It's like space travel, I swear, or, you know, beam me up Scotty stuff.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a chance with your timing to give everyone 2 minutes so you could do some sharing. Love to hear from someone who's like ready to share what you have come up with for your value cycle. So who would love to share and get a bit of mentoring right now on what you've put together on your value cycle? You can put your hand up or you can unmute yourself. We got anyone, Lisa?
Hildegard's got her hand up. That's the only one I
Go
see
for
so
it.
far.
Hildegard, open up your unmute button.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for everything you taught us so far. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So I'm realizing I need to still build a more solid customer base for my intuitive awareness consulting business. And I have been a bit shy on the multimedia, like the social media, Facebook, Clubhouse, etc. So I'm thinking.
I'm going to ask you some very specific questions, because otherwise I'm going to get a lot of history, but we're not going to get to what we want to get to. So I'm going to ask you some very specific question. Who's your avatar, first of all? Tell us, just describe your avatar so we all get a sense.
Yeah, so my avatar is a lady between, let's say, early 20s to 45. She is married, has probably a couple of children. She is working full-time, part-time. Household income maybe around 150,000, maybe personal income 60,000, is a professional in an administrative environment. She has very little time, never makes it to the gym, even though she pays for it, seems to say yes to too many people, is really exhausted, her health is wearing down, her relationship with family member is shaky. And so she is stuck. She realized something is wrong, but she doesn't know where to begin to kind of get a handle on that life. It seems to be this gerbil wheel that she's running on.
Awesome. All right. Very clear avatar. Very good. Well described. I think that was very clear to everyone. Is this somebody you're already working with? Do you have clients already, or is this a new business?
Yes. However, I have not put the material out there.
Okay. That's okay.
You know, it's been word of mouth mostly. People have worked with me from all over online.
Okay. Don't worry about that. That's all right. I just want to get a sense that you already have customers already. So you're already helping these women and you're already like solving this problem for them. All right. What's the way that you solve the problem? What's the actual product? Do you have a program?
What I call is intuitive awareness consulting. We do an assessment based upon, I'll send an information sheet. How do you know that you get value of talking to me? And what is it that you need is feeling most painful at the moment? How can we address it? What would it feel like for you to get value out of interacting with me? And what difference would it make?
Got it. Okay. All right. Got it. Yeah. That's great. Okay. Thanks, Hildegard. All right. So when you think about the value cycle, like what would you like to do to build your followers? What was the one thing you came up with?
Yeah, so I thought, first of all, I want to ask my Facebook community what it is that, what they know about intuitive awareness consulting to begin with. Would they see with the little they know of whether there is benefit to it? Would they know of anybody who is interested in joining an hour's Zoom get together to learn more about the process?
I'm going to stop you because I want to make sure that everyone gets the maximum learning from the mentoring that I do. So I want everyone else to see this as well. That's not going to build your followers at all. So there's a distinction here, right? So remember, a follower is somebody who's giving you their attention, but not yet their time. So a follower is not in your community. They're not already in your community. And this is when most of us are missing this, right? Because we're so busy just focused on the people we already have in our community. So you can definitely do a survey for your community as one of the things that you want to do in your community. I wouldn't ask them, what do they want to know about what I do? Because that's very salesy. That's not actually serving your community at all. It's not giving them any value. That's just giving you information. But if you were to actually increase your followers right now, what could be one thing you could do that would get more followers? That's people who are just following. They're just giving you a little bit of attention, but not yet their time. They're on the outside. So
I could make a small YouTube video about a piece of information of the self-discovery journey, for instance.
Brilliant.
Personal story.
You could 100% have a YouTube channel, which is, you know, how to like live your perfect life as a female entrepreneur or something like that, you could definitely create that channel where you're sharing really powerful stories, and you could be interviewing powerful women who are out there, who've got their stuff together, you know, who are married, they've got children, they're in that age bracket, but they are making time for themselves and they are living an intuitive life. So that would be a great way to build your following, because YouTube's following. Nobody gives you their details when they come to YouTube. They can subscribe to your channel, but they don't give you their details. But if they like your content, your 2-minute videos, your 3-minute videos, you can always say to them, hey, if you've enjoyed this, come join my Facebook community, or come join my Genius U Circle, or come join my LinkedIn group, which is your community. So that's a great one for followers. Okay, let's go back to the community now. So the reason I said it's not a good idea to be asking people what value they see in what you do, or do they want to know more about what you do, is that's what you do when there's a prospect. When somebody says, you can solve my problem, Hildegard. Like, I've watched your videos, I've watched your webinars, you can totally solve my problem. Can I have a call with you to see if you can really serve me and like solve my particular problem? That's when they become a prospect. So let's go back to the community, which is a free experience. Now you said assessment, so my ears pricked up because you said, oh, I've got an assessment, and I was like all excited. But then your assessment is about, how do you know you get value from me? So it's about you again. It's not about them. Make your assessment about them. Right, I know. It's so, when you hear someone say it, it's like, oh, okay, that's genius, Michelle. Make the assessment about the prospect. So, you know, you could have an assessment which is, you know, are you living your best intuitive life as a female? Like, you know, scale your, you know, you can have a scale assessment about how intuitive are you living your best blueprint life? So people want to do assessments about themselves, not about you. The reason we have 1,000 people taking an assessment test every day is because they get to discover something about themselves. What's their genius? What's their impact meter level? What's their passions? What's their purpose? We got millions of assessments, and we just keep creating them because people love taking them. So create your assessment about them. And then you get to find out what their problem is. You get to find out what they're looking for, not are they interested in your product, or do they think you're cool? You'll know.
Great point. Thank you.
You'll know they're interested when they sign up and buy your program. Okay, awesome. Well done for going first, Hildegard. I think Hildegard should get an on the spot prize just for going first, Lisa. What do you reckon? On the spot prize?
Absolutely. On the spot prize. Yes, absolutely.
Well
2 additional tokens for tests, so you can get some of those clients to have a test. Yeah.
Yes. Whoop, whoop. Thank you, Lisa.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Yes. Woo.
All right, should we take another example, Lisa?
Absolutely.
Who have we got?
We have got Eileen with her hand up. Jack had his hand up, but he put it back down. What happened, Jack? Okay. Yeah. Eileen's got her hand up.
He's like, that's too much. I can't do that. In the last session, people are like, I don't know if I want to ask her a question. Right? And by the way, like, that's okay. But do know that while you're here and you ask these questions, everyone else is getting the benefit of it as well. Because everyone else is getting to hear from the question. Because I bet, like, you all heard what I said to Hildegard. I went, oh yeah, I could totally do that. Oh, that's a really good idea. Hildegard, you should do that. I could do that too. So if you're brave enough to step up and ask a question, you're going to get the mentoring, but you're also going to help everyone else because they're going to get to hear the value of the question. Look, his hand's gone straight back up again. Who are you going to pick, Lisa?
Well, we just had a woman. So Eileen, I'm going to have to pick Jack. So we go back and forth between a man and woman. Okay, Jack, go for it.
Jack, your turn. How you doing?
Hello. It was more, sorry.
Are you enjoying your week?
Yeah. Some bits have made my head hurt, but
oh, that'll have been Donna.
So the thing, it was more of asking about an idea. So when we were in the breakout rooms, I forgot I was speaking to.
Let's hear your avatar first of all then. So give me your, because I'm going to get you to go through that same process I just did with Hildegard, and then we'll see if we can work out your question from that. So who's your avatar?
So my avatar would be, well, age-wise, probably youngest is 18 to 20 and oldest is whatever, because my thing is just not really like as bad as it sounds until you die sort of thing. It's
okay, so it's 18 to 100. Right?
Yeah.
Wide age range, yeah.
And they need me for obviously reasons for exercising the pets if they can't get to it, if they're working long hours, if they're going on holiday and they need boarding. So it's sort of a unisex, because you don't target it to a certain gender.
And where are they based?
In the UK, so around my area.
Oh, I thought you were going to
Um,
expand to the UK then. I got all excited.
Oh no, just around my area. Not traveling to Scotland for a dog walk.
Well, you don't have to travel to expand to the UK. Do you know, it's easier, and this is interesting for everyone, right? It's easier today to have a global small business than it is to have a local small business. Now, I'm going to throw these little things out here every now and again, and you can go, oh my God, what's she talking about? Or you can get really curious and go, what does that even mean, Michelle? Like, how would that work? But carry on.
Well, by the sounds of it, it's hire people from different areas and just have my business expanded that way.
But that's one way of doing it, right? Definitely. Okay, so carry on then. So we've got your avatar. What's the problem that your avatar has?
Can't bring in enough money. Can't get enough clients.
No, that's your problem.
Oh, sorry, the avatar's problem. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's your problem. That's why you're here.
They're always
What's
working.
their problem? Say again.
They can't always get the pet out because of the long hours that they work.
Okay. All right. And why is that a problem?
Because pets need exercise just as much as we need exercise. It's good for the pet's mental health, and it doesn't drive the owner crazy when the pet's going booloo because it's not had a walk. When it's a very high energy dog.
All right. And what's your product? What's your service?
An hour's dog walk.
All right. Got it. Okay. So what are you thinking for the followers?
So the followers, that would be, so with the area that I'm in, I'm very well known as being a dog walker. So my followers interact with me with things I post on Facebook, the fun things I do on Facebook, sort of like find the dog in the picture, things like that, getting people pulled in.
So you're going to build your Facebook page. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. And my website as well.
Just so everyone understands, Facebook page is different to Facebook group, right? So Facebook page is where followers will be, because they'll just be like, sitting on the periphery. Facebook group or Genius U Circle or LinkedIn group is when they elect to join a specific community and be part of a community. So those are two different things. So followers is definitely on a page. By the way, page creates way less interaction and engagement than a group does. Just like for info. Okay. All right. Got it. What are you thinking for the community then?
Your community would obviously, it'd be inviting people in that I know have got dogs, and then they can show people that have got dogs, also sharing on other pages that are dog orientated.
Where's your community going to meet? Where are you going to put them?
Where am I going to put them?
You just said like different pages. So where are they going to meet? So imagine a community like at the community hall. They all go to the community hall, like at Newton Village, and they go to the local pub. They have a drink there. That's a community, right? So where's your community going to meet? We're building a digital business. So it's not that you're going to create a physical space, but where are they going to meet digitally?
On a public park. Oh, sorry, digitally.
Yeah.
On the Facebook group, so you could do forums through the groups, and they could meet on there.
You're going to create an actual group. Okay, got it. So you're going to have a group. What are you going to be doing in that Facebook group that's going to make people want to join that?
You could do little group chats. So you could do like a live, like a Facebook live, and talk to people, see if they've got problems, see if you can talk them through the problems. If anyone, like, you could do, you could.
Look, he's come to join us because he heard his Uncle Jack on the phone. Look, there's Uncle
I did
Jack
think that. I thought he was going to get excited.
Uncle Jack's on Zoom.
I did think you could do, you could arrange meetups, because obviously people love to meet up with other people that have got dogs and let the dogs run around and play. So through that, you could arrange meetups in the local area where you meet on a public field and let the dogs just run, and then people can get the chance to talk to me, talk to other people.
Whoops.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of examples, Jack, of some stuff that's just going to maybe blow your mind a little bit as well, right?
Okay.
So I want to show you some examples which are very, very different to what you're doing right now, because you're still thinking very local, right? And this is interesting for anyone. Like we had this morning with somebody who is helping shopkeepers. I was like, this is the easiest way for you to have a global small business. So I'm going to show you some examples, and you can tell me which one you think is like most interesting for you. Right. Do you know this company?
No.
So I met these guys back in 2015 when I traveled to Australia for 3 months, and my dog got looked after by my mum, but my cat no one could look after. So I found these people. Their business was quite new at the time. They're called Trusted House Sitters. And what they do is you go join, you can either be a sitter or you can be a host home. And the sitters pay, but the host homes do it for free. And you go on here and you advertise your home, right? And you go, this is my beautiful house. You can come and stay here. The people come and stay for free, but they come and look after your house and your home and your pets at the same time. And there's reviews, like there's TripAdvisor reviews all over this. Now, the way that they're making money is a really super clever model. This has grown to become an international company. It's a multi-million-dollar company. They don't look after any of the people. They don't train any of the people. But what they've got is the whole thing is like TripAdvisor for pet sitters. When I went away, this was back in 2014 or 2015, I can't remember. I interviewed 30 people who wanted to come and house sit for 3 months. We found a lovely lady called Marianne. My mum interviewed her as well because she was still living down the road with my dog and she was going to come and visit the house. Marianne moved into my house for 3 months. She's become a family friend. She now travels to our parties and comes and stays with us. This is an amazing business model, right? So, but they started by just saying this is about people that you can trust. And so the whole thing is based on reviews, like TripAdvisor. It's like if you do a shabby dog job of looking after my dog, we'll give you a bad review. If your house is a tip, we'll say don't go and stay in that person's house or they haven't got good Wi-Fi. And so the whole thing is based on trust. But it's a multi-million-dollar business and it's global, right?
Yep.
I'll show you this one as well. This is another favorite of mine. In fact, this guy started out as one of my clients and now has become a real close personal friend as well. This is Peter Tobias. So Peter Tobias, when I first met Peter, he had a business that was generating a couple of $100,000 of revenue, but it wasn't making any profit. And so he asked me, how could I help his business become profitable? He is actually a scientist by trade, but he is also a vet. So he's like Dr. Peter Tobias. So he's a vet from living in Canada. When I first met him, he was based in Canada. Now he has a home in Maui. He has a home in Prague. He has a home in Canada. He's got homes all over the world. He travels all over the world just with his dog. So this is him with his dog here. I think this is that Sky or Pax? I can't tell, but he loves his dogs. And at the time he was doing veterinary consults for all different animals, but we got him to niche just in dogs because it was his favorite thing to do. And he was doing Skype consults all around the world. So he offers like a whole holistic way of looking after dogs. He also created his own products. So he was so disillusioned with the fact that he could not help people have holistic ways of looking after their dogs, and they had to use orthodox medicine. He wasn't saying don't use orthodox medicine, by the way, because he is a vet, but he was saying there's lots of other ways you should treat your dog before you use orthodox medicine. You should be going to chiropractors. You should be going to physiotherapists. He taught me so much about looking after my dog when I had a dog with an allergy that was prescribed as having an allergy. He said, Michelle, your dog doesn't have an allergy. It needs to go to the physio and it has a back problem. I took it to the physio sorted out its back problem and the dog stopped itching overnight. Like it's magic. So, and this guy, what he did, so when I started coaching him, because he joined my GAP program, right? So I started coaching him and we got his team all building promotion plans. And the whole business is now, again, is a multi-million-dollar business. It's become super global. It's now really profitable as well because he's running these different promotion plans. But the way he's done it is he's built an amazing community, right? So if I show you like what he does over here, so we've got, let's see if we can, it'll be Dr. Peter Tobias. Here's Dr. Peter Tobias. He's got 145,000 followers. 145,000 followers. The way he's done this, right? And he has groups as well, by the way. This is just his follower page. So this is his open page. By the way, all these examples that I'm sharing, go follow these pages or go join these communities, right? Because when you see what other people are doing, it gives you the inspiration and the ideas of what you could be doing here. And he just like, he's out there doing his blogs every day, which people are loving. He gets a little bit kind of controversial as well, political, but it seems to his community seems to like that too. But he'll oftentimes just put a post out there saying, post a picture of your dog in bed with you, or post a picture of your dog in the water, or post a picture of your dog doing something stupid. And everyone just posts pictures of their dogs because everyone loves their dog more than anyone else's dog. And their dog is the best. It's like babies, right? It's like, I got the best looking baby. I got the best looking dog. And he says like the best looking dog that gets the most likes and comments is going to win like a load of my products. And so he's doing these competitions all the time, and people, they're getting all feisty with each other about like their dogs because they like theirs the best. And he's out here doing all these videos as well. So he's also got a massive community where people actually are on the inside of his community as well. And he's also got assessments and he's got loads of content. So when you go onto his website, he's got like a whole series of blogs around how do you raw feed your dogs? Because so many people were asking questions about raw feeding. So he put a whole program together that you can just download for free. So he's got thousands and thousands of people joining his community like every single month, right? So I'm not saying go do this, but I'm sharing it like as another example of like what people can be doing, which allows them to create global businesses very quickly. So at the moment you're still thinking, I got to create this local community, so I've got to get these dog walkers, and you're limited in your thinking by the amount of revenue you can make, because you're not starting to think about what could potentially happen if you actually really built a digital global business. So I just wanted to drop that in there, Jack, because you're one of my dear friends, and I thought it would just give you some food for thought.
Thank you.
So just based on what I shared, which one of those do you think like you're most excited about?
Of the examples,
Yeah, which one do you think, oh, that's something
making,
I'd be most interested in?
so making the actual groups on rather than a page, the groups.
Which business model? Did you like the trusted house sitters? Did you like,
Oh, sorry.
or do you like what Peter's doing, where he's got his own products? Like, what are you thinking?
The house sitters.
Right.
More.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. And I think it could be something that you could figure out, like, what is a different niche that you want to do? And you could start it still locally, but knowing it's a digital business rather than a local based business. And by digital, for everyone to get the distinction that I just shared here with Jack, because he's still thinking, I just got to find the local dog sitters. And he's like, you know, once I filled my diary, like, that's it, that's all the money I can earn, and I can't earn anything more. But something like this, you can see how quickly something like this can scale the minute you start looking outside of just what you're able to do for yourself. All right, awesome. Well, I think just for letting me blow your mind like that, you should get an on the spot prize. Lisa, what do you reckon?
Woohoo! We're gonna send Jack the
Africa.
Power Pack. It's a great program. The Power Pack. Yes, it's a wonderful program, Jack. So you're gonna get that. Yeah.
Did I answer your question, by the way, Jack? I know you actually had a question for me.
Yeah, it was just with an idea that I had. So it came from a video that we saw yesterday. So we saw they showed us the Dollar Shave Club advert yesterday. So it's given me an idea of, because it's something you never see a dog walker doing, an advert, a really in it advert, switching from one dog to the next dog, or you can be doing this with your dog, or I could be doing this with your dog, or you could be doing this, something like that would really make a difference and make me stand out more.
Definitely. Just remember, with something like the Dollar Shave Club, like, the guy was actually really naturally funny. So you just got to be really careful with those things. I've seen people try to replicate those kind of videos. Yeah, you are funny too, but I've watched when they're on camera and they're trying to be funny, they're actually not. And I've watched a couple of those videos that people try to do and they're not funny. So it is a good way to do something. I'd practice just doing a couple of videos first of all and seeing what reaction people get, and just being your natural self and just chatting, and then see. But also you want to get really clear, like, what's the actual problem you're solving and what's the business before you decide what your video is going to be as well. But yeah. Okay, cool. All right, great. How are we doing for time, Lisa?
We've got 8 minutes.
Can we fit one more in, do you reckon, before the break?
Absolutely. One more. Eileen's been hanging around waiting. There she goes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, Eileen.
All right. So,
hi,
Michelle.
That same process. No, I know you haven't figured all this out just yet. So I'm going to let you ask me your question first of all, and then we're going to go through that process. So what's your question?
Oh, I just wanted to go. I just wanted to get mentored and get clear. So starting with the avatar. So I've got two ideas, but I'm going to pick one.
Go on. Then, which one are you going to pick?
And I haven't done anything in this area at all. It's small business owners, small 20 staff or below. They could be whatever age has started a business, probably, 30 and above, but, in the 20s too. The problem, so
what kind of business?
Any kind of busince, doesn't matter. Any kind of business.
That's a problem. That's pretty much like the whole world. So remember I said in the video, like, try not to be all things to all people. Try and figure out like a type of business that you would like to serve, and it might be something you're familiar with or you've got experience in.
Okay. All right. So businesses that are businesses that are committed to making a difference in the world.
All right, great. So business purpose.
So yes, and so that could be
ones that are making a difference with education, making a difference with gender, making a difference with poverty.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Wow. All right. Making a difference with the UN sustainable goals.
Which one? That's what I was getting to when I asked you.
Oh my
like,
God.
yeah, I know, right? We're going to get into this now, because otherwise you're trying to go and communicate to everybody about their passion and their purpose. But let's just get really specific about a business owner who's purposeful about a particular. Which one are you? Which is your goal? That
Okay. Well, it's empowering women for sure.
women. So
Gender
you want to work with
equality.
women leaders who are helping with gender equality.
So women business owners.
Women business
Yes.
owners? Okay. Mhm.
Okay. Women business owners focused on gender equality in whatever work they're doing. It could be in education, agriculture, literacy, economic empowerment.
All right, got it. What's the problem that these business owners have?
Okay. The problem is that there are continual bumps in the road because the staff, inevitable irritations, annoyances, things that come up just in the process of people being alive and being human and interacting. And then things start being affected, like they're getting slowed down, deadlines aren't made, there's a tension in the office, and it affects the bottom line as well. Mm-hmm. The spirit that used to be there is kind of draining out, and they can't figure out what the problem is. Maybe they need a better filing system, or they need more group meetings. They need more committee meetings.
And what are you thinking is like the product or process that you could put them through that would solve that problem?
The product is, I'm stumbling because I don't like to actually use this word because it scares people off in business, but I have a process called the forgiveness process. Mm-hmm. What it is it enables people to identify and release immediately all those annoyances, irritations, edginess, such that they begin to be able to communicate with each other. And I also do that. I do that kind of training too. So
look, that's interesting, right? But you've got to make a decision here, because your product's an interesting product, but your product does not solve the problem that you just described to your avatar. And remember, I said earlier on, don't just take your product and try and make it fit the problem. So okay. Either you've got to decide, do people have a problem with like irritation? Do they have a problem with like, difficult relationships in the workplace? And that's the problem that you're going through. But you said, they're struggling to like with their business, they're struggling, like they've got bumps in the road, they are having some difficulty with interaction, but their bottom line slowing down. So you talk much more about the kind of revenue side, less about like the fact that people are having like conflict. So either you want to find people who have that problem with conflict and say, well, here's a solution, or you say, no, I want to help those female business owners. I'm going to find out what their real problem is and see if I can find a solution for them. Many times we're so busy attached to our product or service that we have, we're trying to make it fit. It was very similar to the example I just shared with Jack, right? It was like very attached to like my product or service right now. And I'm like, well, here's something completely different. Like, what if you looked at it totally differently and it mind like exploded you, but you were like, well, I never even thought that thing was even possible. But if I did, like, what would life look like? So I'm going to share a couple of examples with you as well, right? So here's one right now. You might know these people. So actually one of the team members for GFU is actually on the Microschool. She's on the EMEA group, right? This is the one I shared as the actual example on the slide. So this is GFU, right? This is the Global Institute for Evolutionary Women. And this is run by Bear Benkova. So she's out there working specifically with female entrepreneurs, right? That's it. That's her avatar, female entrepreneurs. And she's looking for women who are looking to create massive transformation in their lives, because you said you wanted purposeful women, right? So you've got to be wanting to create transformation. You've got to be wanting to make a positive impact on the planet. And if you do, this is the space where you get to come. And she's got a community of like hundreds of thousands of women from 20 different countries. And she's got all these different education programs already in place. She's got the world's best personal growth programs for women. She's got transformational programs. She runs awards. She's got events that she's doing. She's got a whole team that are already doing this. And she's out there looking for partners. She's out there looking for people who want to help bring people into the community and want to be part of like her constellation of stars. So there's one example where you could actually just go connect in with somebody already who's out there already doing this, right?
Good.
Who's the other one I was thinking about? We'll do, Lisa will drop the link into this one. What was the other example I was thinking of? Oh, I hate it when that just goes out of your head. It was who's it in Australia? What's her name? Sandra. I might have to come back to it because I can't remember her name, but she's running a program where she's going out to corporates and actually getting them connected in with gender equality issues. And she's actually getting the corporates to focus on gender equality issues. And she's created a whole community where they get to join, and she gives them an award if they're making a positive impact in female empowerment. And if they're making, so she's actually going out and giving them points and giving them, so she's created the award-based system for companies that are making positive impacts, and they're joining her community. So now she's like the go-to place where they're joining her community. So there's many different ways that you can go do this as well. But like I said before, don't feel like you have to go create this on your own when there's other people already out there starting this flow. But I think it's awesome that you've started to create an avatar. You started to think more deeply about who it is that you want to serve. Just a distinction for everyone. There's a difference between having an education business and having a community business, right? So I'm going to give you this distinction as well, Eileen, so you can think about this, like which you'd rather have, right? An education business as a mentor is where you go out and say, okay, I'm going to build a community of people, because everyone's got to build a community regardless, right? I'm going to build a community of people, and at the end of it, I'm going to educate them on, how to make sure that they're, forgiving each other and not causing conflict, right? That's it. That's my education. I'm going to educate people on that, or I'm going to educate them on high performance teams or culture or something. So you become an educator. So it means you've got your own product or service that you're going out and teaching. Or you can become a community builder. And I don't know if Anne's around, but Anne, I'm going to call on you in a minute. So I hope you are around and you can put your camera on. You can become a community builder, right? Which is different to an educator. A community builder is someone who says, well, actually, I don't want to create my own products. I'm not that excited to build my own products, but I know I can build a community. Like I know that I can get people to come together who are one particular avatar, who I care about. I'm going to build the world's best community of those people where everyone wants to be a part of it, who's that niche. And then I'm going to go find the people who've got the best products, and I'm going to bring them to my community. And I'm going to say, hey, Lisa, you can bring your female empowerment program to my community of females because you've got a great program right now. Or Bear, you can bring your products to my community because I've built this really powerful community of women. Now, both businesses can make millions of dollars. In fact, Tamami Yoshiki has done exactly that. She's built a community-based business in Japan using all of our products. She just takes Wealth Dynamics, Talent Dynamics, translates it all into Japanese. She doesn't create any programs or any services herself. She's got a multi-million-dollar business. And now she's got everybody knocking on her door. She's the gateway now to Japan if you're a serious entrepreneur or personal development entrepreneur. Anne, are you there? Or is he? Have I shocked him?
He's on video, but yeah, I think he's off doing something else.
Okay.
So yeah,
So Eileen, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer like building an education business, or do you prefer building a community business?
Education business.
You want to do the education business? Okay, well, look, no, you've got to build the community either way. But for everyone else, I want you to think about this, because some of you are out there trying to build an education business going, well, I can't find any customers. I don't know why anyone doesn't want to work with me, because you're in the foundation prism. And until you create that level of compelling credibility, it's going to be very difficult to do that. When you start by building a community and tapping into other people's flow, when you start by partnering with other people already doing it, you start making money instantly, and you start learning, well, what are the ways that I can be creating great education? Because until you've got that credibility, it's very difficult for people to say, yes, I'm going to come work with you. And you'll be digging in your back garden for a long time doing something like that. So you might want to start by building a community, knowing that you ultimately want to have your own education business as well. Does that make sense?
That's absolutely makes sense. Phenomenal coaching.
Thank you. Lisa, am I over time?
You are. So let's just go to break.
Okay. D'Souza. Thank you, Susan. All right, over to you, Lisa.
Okay, we've got a prize for Eileen first, though. And since you hung out there, we're going to give you 100 gems on Genius. Yes. Okay. All right. Break time, everybody. Woohoo. Everybody, good work. And we'll see you back at the bottom of the hour. All right.
See you soon.
Wonderful mentoring, Michelle.